Hey folks, David here once again. Welcome back to another superhero review. Hope you enjoyed my review slash epic rant on Max Steel. Oh, I hated that movie. And guys, remember subscribe to my channel here. Uh, remember leave a Minnelli 983 with the match profile picture. I even have a leave a Minnelli 983. Yeah, and my YouTube channel shirt. Yeah, yeah. Sorry if it's a little stained right there. Anyway, what I've been doing, guys, on this channel, you check out my other videos. I did share my review of this movie. And of course, this is another revisit review. What I've been doing, guys, is a superhero marathon on my YouTube channel. I've been doing what I call, this is your first time on my channel, welcome to my channel. I've been on YouTube for actually 11 years, since 2013. Yeah, or almost 11, probably going to be 12 years this year. But anyway, in October. But starting new with this channel, I've been on this channel, I think, since June. And I started up this new channel, this second channel, which I like and I intend to keep going with videos and stuff. It's not just going to be superhero reviews all the time. It's just for the time being. I do plan to review other movies in the future and stuff. But for now, what I've been doing, guys, if you've been watching, I've been doing a superhero marathon. I've been doing what I call the 2010s era superhero reviews. Superhero reviews. I've been reviewing superhero movies that have been coming out the 2010 decades, 2010 to 2019. And I am on the last movie for 2016. As you know, I've been doing some revisit reviews lately and on my other channel too. And this will be the last superhero revisit review, the last Marvel uh, MCU revisit review. Because after this, I mean, yeah, maybe one day I'll do more revisit reviews. Planning on it for the channel. I can't say when, but for now, this is the last revisit review. For a superhero review right now, this is the last one. Uh, this is a 2016 superhero film, Marvel film. This is the 14th film in the MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe, that stars Benedict Cumberbatch, and by Scott Derrickson, about the mystical magic Doctor Strange himself, of course, Doctor Strange. Now, I reviewed this movie back in 2019. I think it was 2019 or 2020, maybe. So maybe a couple something years ago. But do revisit a review. This is a positive review. This ain't a rant because I really enjoyed this movie. This movie really intrigues me. Really an interesting movie. I have some issues with it, but despite that, a little bit of issues. I still love this movie. I still really enjoy it. I've seen the sequel. I saw the sequel in theaters in 2022 when the sequel came out. That was directed by Sam Raimi, so But Doctor Strange, this is the first Doctor Strange movie. Yeah, yeah. But this was a really good movie to watch again. This is really still enjoyable. It has issues, but I can just go on how much I love the special effects in this movie. Definitely better effects than Max Steel, and definitely better how you do a character movie right. Character building, development. Which Max Steel didn't have any of that. You know, yeah. At least it knows what it is. Anyway, the character of Doctor Strange himself, my favorite Doctor Strange movie, probably still going to be, I would say, is the 2007 movie. But Doctor Strange, of course, he's a Marvel character. He's a master of magic and martial arts, mystic equipment, genius level intellect. He starts off as an intelligent, arrogant surgeon who is in a car accident. Now, I guess in the comics, Stephen Strange was an asshole. He's an arrogant bastard, thinking only of himself, or he just has a bit of an ego. Would not be able to stay with him his hands got hurt as a surgeon. And never to accept that prognosis, he travels the world searching for alternative ways of healing. Leads him to the Ancient One, the Sorcerer Supreme. Strange becomes his student, or in this case, in this movie, her student, and learns to be a master of both the mystical and martial arts. He requires mystical objects, including the powerful Ayavaktan and clove levitation. Levitation. After high school, he went to New York as a pre-med student in medical school. Strange, despite his rotation, he's able to handle the most complicated surgical procedures, but Strange is self-centered and greedy. He only treats patients who can afford to pay his tuition fees. He only cares about their money. One night, speeding his car, a terrible accident happens, and this how it becomes Dark Strange. You see this in the movie too. Yeah. basically production. The film, based on the Marvel Comics character Doctor Strange, was initially listed as being in development at New York Pictures, with the script dated January 21st, 1986. But of course, there was a film I think that came out in 1978, but I don't think that did too well. And 1986 was also the same year Howard the Duck came out. So yeah, it was a time where Marvel, if they're planning this movie in 1986, it wasn't going to happen. Because when they started off with their movies, especially Howard the Duck, which was a that yeah Howard the Duck, sorry, the Howard the Duck came out in 1986. That was a huge flop. So Marvel at that time was not as big as it came today. Bob Gale, but it never went through in production. But then by 1989, Alex Coates had co-written the script of Marvel Comics Stan Lee. The script of the character traveling to the fourth dimension before facing the villain Dormammu in Easter Island. A film using the script, I'm sorry, almost made a Regency. They were distributed by Warner Bros. At the time, which was in a dispute with Marvel over merchandising, so I guess it didn't happen. In 1999, The Punisher came out. Even though I love that with Dolph Lundgren, that was not a huge hit. Then you had the TV Hulk movie that came out. The Incredible Hulk Returns came out in 1988, but that was a TV movie. Yeah. However, the option and of course Trial of the Incredible Hulk came out that year too. However, though the option expired before production could begin, and the project was reworked in 1992, title characters were similar to Strange. By December 1992, Rick Craven had signed on to write and direct Doctor Strange for release in either 94 or 95, which would have been interesting. In 95, W.S. Square had completed a script for the film. February 1997 had purchased the film rights, and Jeff Welsh was working on a new screenplay. Besides, I don't like David Square has his directing of Blade Trinity, but he did, even though that never happened, we did get Blade in 1998, you know, which I think he wrote the script of that movie. Yeah, by April 2000, Columbia dropped Doctor Strange, which had the Michael France attached to write a script and interest from Chuck Russell, who is known from directing The Mask with Jim Carrey and Cameron Diaz, and Stephen Norrington direct. Stephen Norrington, who directed The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Yeah, which I don't mind. I like that movie. Oh, he also directed Blade. Now that would have been interesting, but since League of Extraordinary Gentlemen didn't do well, that's probably before or when maybe that movie was in production, but that movie didn't make huge numbers. And maybe Chuck Russell didn't want to do another comic book film. I don't know. But I'd love to see him if they make the Mask two about true sequel to the Mask. I would definitely love to see him do it. But anyway, acquire the film rights with Gory back on board as a writer and director. Gory hinted scheduling conflicts with the film adaptation of Murder Mysteries. I promised not to be highly dependent on computer imaginary. However, by August 2001, Miramax Film acquired the film rights from Dimension Films, and by March 2002, Gore had dropped out of the project. A 2005 release date was announced to the next March. And in 2002, he also wrote the script for Blade 2, I believe. I think he might have worked on that movie. Could be wrong, but I'm not going to look it up right now. CEO A.B. Abward, who has been working with the Marvel movie since, I think, 80s or 1998, Blade. We're nowhere with that. That's a tough one to write, but we are working on it. We're trying to find the real Jerry Garcia of the writing community. In April 2005, Paramount Pictures acquired Doctor Strange from Miramax. So it seems like Doctor Strange was going here and there with studios buying these rights. Writing, Guillermo del Toro was set to direct it. Guillermo del Toro directed Blade 2, Hellboy with Ron Perlman, Hellboy 2, The Golden Army. So I guess see maybe him, you know, making a Doctor Strange movie. Yeah, heck yeah. The version would have been the character being This version would have been seeing the character being alcoholic in disbarred position late 1920s, 1930s. It would have been living in Greenwich Village for 90 years without aging. Would have also been heavily inspired by the art of Steve Ditko. Game was especially interested in including characters Lee, but the studio was not interested. In March 2009, Marvel hired writers to help come up with the creative ways to launch uh, priorities, including Doctor Strange. Of course, because at that time you had Marvel had become a hit finally because, I mean, they had successful films in the 2000s like Spider-Man 2, but 2008 was when the MCU started, so of course they were trying to get the rights to these characters. Marvel Studios hired Thomas Dean July in 2010 to write Doctor Strange, while promoting Transformers Dark of the Moon. Actor Patrick Dempsey was lobbying to play the title character. January 2013, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige confirmed that Doctor Strange would appear in some part of the Phase 3 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Feige then returned his Doctor Strange feature film. Now his feature had, a hit on his hand because the Avengers came out. That was a hit, so they could bring, we had Guardians of the Galaxy before this Ant-Man, so of course, Strange got his chance to come into it, to the foreplay, in Marvel here. The director says, I think when you consider that work I've done, it makes sense that he's might be my favorite comic book character, at least in the Marvel Universe. Part of the only comic book character in the mainstream world that I'm suited to. I feel such an antipathy for the character and the story and the ambitions of those comics, especially the original Stanley and Steve Ditko Strange Tales. I think those are my favorite of them. The entire history of the comics is extraordinary. In June 2014, Derrickson was chosen to direct. He had written a 12-page scene for the film featuring Strange and the Stanley failing in the astral plane while a doctor attempts to save Strange's physical body in the hospital. Based on a sequence from the comic Doctor Strange the Oath. Derrickson has shown the sequence with his own concept art, alongside storyboards and from professional artist Adam Sharp, which he presented in a 90-minute pitch to the studio. This cost Derrickson an obnoxious amount of his own money, but he felt it was necessary to prove that I wanted to do the job more than anyone, especially after Marvel told him that more people had lobbied to direct Doctor Strange than any of the other films. Derrickson only had 8 meetings with Marvel for the film. After he was hired, Marvel bought the 12-page scene from Derrickson, became one of the film's main set pieces. On transitioning from horror films to superhero film, Derrickson it was nice to work on something more positive and not to have my headspace in something dark for so long. But it was also weirdly similar because of the fantastical nature of the movie. In his horror films, Derrickson had tried to use real characters and real character drama, played by good actors, and counter the fantastical. So he had wanted actors of the same high caliber for Doctor Strange, which can introduce the more fantastical elements in the MCU. Derrickson and Marvel had originally discussed him along his Sinister co-writer Robert Killough. Derrickson also directing, but Marvel felt that they wouldn't be able to reach their intended release date of 2016, July 2016. If Derrickson filled both worlds, Derrickson was chosen as director. Marvel passed on Virgil as an individual writer, with John Spies hired to rewrite the script. A big fan of Strange as a child, has started pestering Marvel as soon as he read reports of the company searching for a director for the film. This eventually led him to a meeting with the studio before they actually began looking for writers of the film. Split this and that, and they talked all afternoon. The film was right, but he received a call from Marvel several days later. They were going to look at the writers. Split told his agent not to take the answer, call them back, tell them a lot of the right answers, and get back to me in the room. Davidson was already hired with Spettis joined. The pair spent several months working on the film's story. With Fijian executive producer Stephen Brazold, they started writing the film from the beginning, intentionally unsure whether it would be an origin story or if it would begin with Strange already as fully formed sorcerer. Ultimately felt that the origin story of the character in the comics is so upright and beautiful, so tragic and epic, isn't sweet. It was unavoidable. We had to tell that story in our best version of it. Elements from early drafts that he later stated were still in the final film, including many of the film's set pieces, such as the Lamented Battle, which came straight from Derrickson, as well as other things from spots. Derrickson wanted Nightmare to be the film antagonist, along with the concept of nightmares themselves being a dimension. But Feige felt getting across the idea of dream dimension as another dimension would have been challenging alongside everything. The film introduces Dormammu, the most present villain in the comics, becomes the film's main villain. During the early development, Robert Derrickson and Spalding envisioned Benedict Cumberbatch playing the Tom Kent role. Into June, they had really been looking at Tom Hardy and Jared Leto for the film's lead role, but thank God that didn't happen. Instead, they, got him. Cumberbatch, his media also championed Cumberbatch for the role, and I'm glad they did. The actor explained that he would be unable to accept the role due to commitments to the projects. He said that the lead actor would be announced relatively quickly. They tried to get Joaquin Phoenix to talk to play the character. Well, Phoenix did go on to play Joker, Arthur Fleck, though, in 2019. Yeah, Marvel Studios was in negotiations by December 2014 to shoot Doctor Strange at Pinewood Studios, which first began for a movie into Shepperton Studios. As the actor felt that the blockbuster film would never be fulfilling. Marvel then placed Leto, Ethan Hawke, Oscar Isaac, Owen McGregor, Matthew McConaughey, Jack Gyllenhaal, who would eventually, go on to be in a Marvel movie as Quentin Beck, aka Mysterio, one of Spidey's villains. Colin Farrell, you probably know him as Bullseye in Daredevil and the director's cut from 2003. Keanu Reeves. Yeah. Ryan Gosling also had discussions to play the character, but while Reeves was not approached by the role, Cumberbatch was still considered to be in contention. Cumberbatch entered negotiations to play the character, which was officially cast in December. They explained that Marvel had kept returning to him for the role. I guess they really wanted that, and again, I don't blame them. He In my opinion, he is Doctor Strange. He was perfect for the role, in my opinion. I mean, the company officially decided to change the film's production to fit around Cumberbatch's commitments, allowing him to join the project. But the film's new production schedule, since its release date was pushed back to November. Dickerson was able to do some work on the script himself. He brought Carroll to work with the film, was originally planned to star in the film, part of both a superhero film and a fantasy film, saying it's a very magical fantasy adventure. But at the same time, it plays by some of the superhero tropes that people enjoy. Plauditz returned later in the process to do some more writing and help bring the movie home, and he said he was delighted by the work that Dickerson and Carroll had intended. Page and Dickerson have noticed that, in addition to The Oath and Steve Ditko's original work on Doctor Strange, there was Doctor Strange comic book into Shambhala. June 2015, George had to enter the talks with Marvel for a role, later to play Cora Mordo. Dickerson and members of the production team visited New York City to scout potential filming locations, while Feige revealed that filming will begin that November. A month later, Tilda Swinton was talked to play the Ancient One. In June 2015, Dickerson announced that he was going to London to begin work on the film, and Feige confirmed that Strange's sanctum would appear, located on Blakeyer Street in New York City's Greenwich Village, as in the comics. From her role in the film, Rachel McAdams was being considered for a female lead. McAdams cautioned that it's still superhero early, and I don't know where that's going to go, if it's going to go anywhere at all. But she ultimately confirmed her role during the 2015 Toronto Film Festival. Jessica Chastain had been approached for the role before McAdams, but turned down the opportunity because she felt she was only going to get one shot at being in a Marvel film and wanted to be a lead character. Matt Melton entered and talks to play a villain. Guardians of the Galaxy director James Gunn said that many of the crew that worked on that film were unable to return for a sequel because they had committed to Doctor Strange. Dickerson also revealed that Gunn had provided notes on the script beyond the general version. The MCU directors were between themselves for their films. At the end of the month, Feige said that the additional casting announcements would be made before the end of the year. Dickerson had offered the role to Stumble because he was interested in working as the actor. He joined the cast for reading some Doctor Strange comics, when West blames himself for running the surgery in Strange's hands and robbing him of his ability to operate. Feige felt that the visuals of the films would need to be Ditko and the Matrix type, and said that you don't get into it to Harry Potter. But if it's scientists who went to Hogwarts, he'd find out how some of that stuff is happening. We're not going to spend a lot of time on that. Yeah. It was Industrial Light Magic, who's been doing, since Star Wars from 1977. I'm talking about just Star Wars, not New Hope, but they've been doing, since 1997. ILM has been doing special effects for movies, and they do it for this movie as well. The Feige called Doctor Strange the doorway into the supernatural side of the MCU, which, it was a doorway that needed to be opened, bring something new and fresh, and they did it with this movie. Feige said it would not explore parallel realities like in the comics. Served as a scientific consultant on the film, having already known Dickerson and been a Marvel fan since childhood. Frank advised on the human side. Filming began in Naples on November 4th, 2015, under the working title Checkmate. Ben Davis, serving as cinematographer of the film, doing the same regards to Galaxy and Avengers Age of Ultron, described Doctor Strange as Marvel's Fantasia, and noticed that a lot of was required to figure out how to shoot the physical side. Tell me about your film about Strange. The scene of him, yeah, looking for the Gumateo. Yeah, not the Gumateo. Davidson chose Nobody's location to feature Eastern City that would not be familiar to most audiences. After scouting several locations of the country, many of those areas were destroyed February 2015 during Nepal earthquake. Rather than choosing another country, Davidson felt that bringing attention to Nepal following the event was all the more reason to shoot there. Hugo said that the location was shifted from Tablet to Nepal to prevent censorship by the Chinese government. Humbert said that shooting in Nepal was utterly vital to this film. I think not least because it's so based on something that is exotic. It was a magical way to start the shoot. It's important to a film like this, which had gear shift in spiritual and otherworldly dimension. The portal for that would actually happen itself. To be incredibly spiritual and marvelous. They eventually filmed locations around the Comatau Valley, some other places I can't say. Production moved to Lone Grove Studios, England, November 11th, and was scheduled to stay in there until March 2016. The real Comatau Street led to the fictional one, 4 yards was located as a long cross. Very hard because Kilmarnock is a most beautiful city. To transition from that level of detail and history to the shape of the streets, the wrapping of the buildings, those ancient bricks, those ancient titles were a real challenge. Film also took place in New York City's Hell's Kitchen neighborhood. New York City set scenes were shot at Shepperton Studios and later in London. By the end of November, the casting of the characters was confirmed alongside Scott Adkins. Benedict Wong, he was cast as Wong in January. Emily joined the production for filming. In June 2016, Diamond Select Press released for Doctor Strange toys and their Marvel Cinematic lines. Medicine characters, Medicine's role was confirmed in official time came up for the role. McAdams was confirmed at San Diego Comic Con. Benjamin Bratt was revealed to have been cast. Atkins' role was revealed to be Loken Arphiloctus, and Ledger's role was later revealed to be Dr. Burnham, but he's mostly cut from the film. Two scenes at the beginning of the film, she had been cast in a small role. Also, at San Diego Comic Con, Dickerson notes that there was still a couple pickup shoots to do for the film, clarify the logic. Stan Lee's cameo in the film was directed by Gunn, when they said the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. This film also several other Lee cameos to limit the amount of travel he had to do for the next 4 MCU films. Gunn contacted Dickerson during the shoot. Then the shot matched up with the Doctor Strange scene, kept throwing lines at Lee on the day to give Dickerson and Marvel plenty of options to choose from the film. Additional options. Lee reading a good book and asking a gentleman next to him if he knew the world Excelsior meant. Lee laughing really hard, saying that he was laughing for no reason. Totally crazy, and Lee laughing hysterically at Garfield's quote. Learning how the character hates Mondays, but he loves lasagna. Gon felt that Garfield was ready to appear in the final version of the film, but it ended up being too long for the scene. Which was released by Dylan Bell, Industrial Light Magic, Method Studios, Framestone, Thermal Pictures, Rise FX. And of course, the mirror sequence was mostly filmed on green screen. Visual effects was added by ILM with the Asian one there. Yeah. For the marketing, you did have the trailer, which was really good. I will admit at the time, though, when this movie came out, I knew nothing of the character of Doctor Strange, and I was like, okay. I wasn't interested. Until I heard some positive reviews on the movie, and I got it on DVD, and eventually I upgraded to the Marvel Blu-rays that they've been giving out. I upgraded it. You know, used to have it on DVD though. I think I bought it at Target. Not the Blu-ray version of it. Doctor Strange says we're on October 13th, 2016. Yeah. Yeah, the film was successful at the box office, I believe. Well, it had to be. Yeah. Didn't make money. And of course, you had a sequel in 2022 with Sam Raimi directing to replace Dickerson with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness with Elizabeth Olsen respiring her role as Wanda Maximoff, aka the Scarlet Witch. We'll get to that when we get to that. But for now, just the first movie. For the cast, you have Benedict Cumberbatch as Dr. Stephen Strange. He's a neurosurgeon who, after a car crash, later his journey of healing, discovers the hidden world of magic and alternative dimensions. Cumberbatch described his character Strange as arrogant about him going from place to place where he thinks he knows it all, realizing he knows nothing. But Benedict Cumberbatch, well, movies I can think of, or Amazing Grace. I don't. Wait a minute. I think I've seen that movie one time, but I don't remember him being in it. 12 Years Slave, the current, the Hobbit film series, which I haven't seen. And you have Jewett Ati as Mordor. He's a master of the mystical arts, close to the ancient one, and a mentor to Strange. Yeah, Mordo I think is a villain in the comics, but not in here. Let's see what this actor's been in. Four Brothers, Love Actually, The Martian, Venom: The Last Dance. He was in that. And of course, he did come back as Earth 838 though from Coral Mordo, because by that time the sequel came out, they were, you know, doing the multiverse thing. And then Rachel McAdams, Christine Palmer, an injury emergency surgeon. Richards are in as love interest, but shortly before filming, it's a shame though. I will get to that. But Rachel McAdams, my first introduction to her was Mean Girls, and she was good in that. She was in Sherlock Holmes, working with Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, in both movies. Red Eye, directed by the last Wes Craven. You know, which I like Red Eye. You know, it's a Red Eye is an underrated movie. That's a good film. Yeah. And Benedict Wong is Wong, a master in mystic arts, tasked with protecting some of Kamacha's most valuable relics and books. Benedict Wong, he's in Sunshine, Growing Your Own, Spirit Warriors, which I've never seen. He was in Johnny English Reborn. Oh, he did come back as Wong though, and oh, he's in Kick-Ass 2. I don't remember him in that. He was in Avengers: Infinity War, Endgame, come back as Wong, and it's for Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings, and Spider-Man: No Way Home, and Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness. Also, Cumberbatch did come back as the character for Doctor Strange and Avengers: Infinity War and Endgame. And it has a, I forgot to mention before that though, he had a I can't speak. He had a cameo in Thor Ragnarok. Yeah, and he came back the character as the character in Spider-Man: No Way Home and the sequel. Just feeling warm. And Doctor Strange too, of course, Multiverse of Madness. Yeah, I'm hoping they'll make a third movie. Michelle Trellan as Enigma West, a rare surgeon is Strange. He looks so familiar. Was okay? Yeah, this guy was in Men in Black 3. He was Griffin. I remember him. He was in Lincoln, Steve Jobs, and Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. Probably just had a small work. Benjamin Bratt as Jonathan Penguin, a paladin who learned the Ancient One had himself to the mystic arts. But Benjamin Bratt, I remember him in The River Wild. Good actor. He was in Miss Genealogy. Of course, you know superhero. Yes, Catwoman. He was in that crappy film with Holly Berry, and he voiced Superman, the evil version of Superman, the Zoldyck version of Superman, in Justice League Guys. I'm not sure which I reviewed. And Scott Adkins as Lucian. Now, Scott Adkins, I think he's an action hero. Well, he's a martial artist himself. I think he's worked with Jean-Claude Van Damme, but he was in The Expendables 2. And I think, yeah, he was in, it says even John Wick Chapter 4, which I haven't seen. The Accidental Spy, he was in that. The Medallion, so he was in some really Jackie Chan stuff, movies. X-Men, you know, he shared a role with Ryan Reynolds, so he was in X-Men Wolverine. Yes. Universal Soldier Day of Reckoning, Jean Claude Van Damme movie. Yeah, like I said, Expendables 2. Mad Milisky has colonists and messes with March who broke away from the Asian one. But I can't say the actor's name right, but if you've seen the James Bond film, Casino Royale, I talk about the Daniel Craig 2006, he plays a character called Le Chiffre. And he was in Rogue One, of course. Yes, sadly. I guess he was in the new Indiana Jones. I still haven't seen that. Tilda Swinton as the Asian one. She becomes Strange's mentor. I think she. Let's see. I think she was in as Lucifer. No, not Lucifer. As Gabriel, Angel Gabriel. Let's see. Yes, it's in Constantine, working with Count Reeves. The Chronicles of Narnia, the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, playing the White Witch. Yeah. Oh, Cumberbatch also portrays incredibly the Dormammu. Chris Hemsworth has a cameo though in the film's post-credit scene. If you have the movie on any Marvel MCU movie on DVDs, flip fast forward through it and you'll see one. Every MCU movie has an end credit scene. The film is directed by Scott Derrickson. Let's see who's directed films like I guess known for directing horror movies. I guess Urban Legends, The Final Cut, Hellraiser. Yeah, this movie, The Black Phone. I've seen a little bit of that. Yeah. The film is by written John Splites. Sorry, folks. Who's wrote films like Dark Shower, Prometheus, Passengers with Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt. That's a good movie. That's what came out in 2016. The Mummy, the 2017 version, but I can't even finish that movie. And by Scott Dickinson, who wrote the film himself too, and C. Robert Cargill. Cargill, can't say his name right. He's wrote Senator, The Stripper Sinister, and The Black Phone, and the Black Phone 2, which is supposed to come out this year. Based on Doctor Strange by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, produced by Kevin Feige, and Stan Lee also serves as a producer on the film. But of course, he's been working with Marvel since 2008, been the president of the MCU, I guess you could say, or Marvel Studios, since the first Iron Man movie in 2008. Cinematography is by Ben Davis. He's in cinematography films like Layer Cake, Imagine Me and You, Kick Ass, the first Kick Ass movie, which I don't like. Red the Titans, don't really care to see that. But for other Marvel movies, two Marvel previous ones, Guardians of the Galaxy, Rangers of Ultron, let's see any ones after. No, the Dumbo remake. Yeah. Edited by Wyatt Smith and Sabrina Polish. Music by Michael Jinko, who I think, he gives that mystical, magical score for the movie, if you will. Which pretty fit well with the character of Doctor Strange. He says he works in Jurassic World, Mission Impossible. Production company is Marvel Studios, distributed by Warner Studios Pictures. It was released November 4th, 2016 here in the US. Funny, that's my sister's birthday. The budget was estimated to be either around $165 million or $236.6 million, but it did make $677.8 million worldwide. So it was a bigger hit than Max Steel, and I was even more successful than Suicide Squad. Yeah. The film got good reviews for its cast, but reflects the musical score. Yeah. Which you highly deserved. Yeah. But anyway, that's the people that worked on the movie cast and production. Okay, let's get into. So the film is 1 hour and 55 minutes long. Oh, yeah. The film is about 115 minutes long. 1 hour 55 minutes. If you want to count the two, both. There are both post credit scenes in the movie. But honestly, for being 115 minutes long, It didn't feel that long. It felt like it pretty got to the story pretty simply. It gets to the story pretty quick. Not too quick, but it does take time. But it's a good story. Anyway, what Doctor Strange is about, the story of the movie is plot synopsis of that, and there will be spoilers in this review. So if you've never seen Doctor Strange or my original, don't watch my original review either, or this revisit review, because I don't want you to spoil the movie for yourself. Okay, I'm just being nice to say that because I want to talk about the movie. First, the plot synopsis. Doctor Stephen Strange, played by Benedict Cumberbatch, he's a neurosurgeon. He's very arrogant. He's a know-it-all kind of guy. He's a bit of a jerk that only kind of thinks about himself or, does stuff just for the money, you know, and a bit greedy as well. He's kind of a bastard, I would say, a greedy bastard. But pretty much what happens, his life changes. He gets into a car accident. He hurts his hands really bad. It relies on the use of his hands. But traditional medicine fails him. He's trying everything he can to get his hands better to get back to know what he's doing best at being a neurosurgeon, trying to get his hands fixed. Until he looks for healing and hope in a mysterious enclave, he quickly learns that the enclave is the front line of battle against, and he goes to the ancient one, these masters of the mystical arts, who know magic and mystical arts. What they do is they protect threats, mystical threats that these sorcerers. That's what they do, and more do. You see a picture of them against this evil sorcerer named Mass Miskin, who's working for Dormammu, who these artificers, they're built on destroying reality, bending on destroying the world, and somewhat he thinks it's gonna Meladin's character, he thinks it's gonna be glorious, although it's more like torment, it's like hell basically. Though he thinks it's gonna be highly glorious, gonna kill a lot of people. Strange gets back, but before long, he is forced to choose between his life of fortune and status, or leave it all behind to defend the world and become the most powerful sorcerer in existence, known as Doctor Strange, and choose his destiny. Yeah, and he has to stop Dormammu and defeat the villains and save the world from this mystical threat. And that's kind of the plot for you. It is an origin story, but it is a Doctor Strange movie. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm just feeling a little woozy. I don't know, that doesn't make any sense, but I'm in woozy. It's not going too well. But I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the movie itself. I'm gonna talk about the movie itself, read some quotes, give you my final opinion on this film. You know, okay, but let's talk about Doctor Strange. And like I said, warning you right now, there are spoilers. I will put it in the description box below as well that there are spoilers in this review. So before you see this video, make sure you pause the video, and look in the description box below. As I always say, there are spoilers in this review, by the way, guys. So if you haven't seen the movie, just a warning. But the film opens up year 2016, of course, and a bull following a group of rogue sorcerers infiltrate the Comitea, masters of the mystic arts, being led by Kalaskis, Mad Melf's character. This guy's just looking after books. He gets attacked, and they have ways to, do it like that. You know, with mystical arts, like create a ring, almost like this. And what they do is, Kalashi and his father, they grab this guy, they tie him up like this, his arms and legs, and Max Malachi, you know, Kalishi like cuts his head off, but you see it off screen. You just see a mirror of it, and then the ancient one sees them. She chases them, and she puts up a good fight, But Telegus and his group get away. They steal a forbidden ritual former book owned by his former mentor, the ancient one. They escape through the port of London The Sorcerer Supreme shots them in this mirror dimension. Again, with this film, right away, the special effects, like I said, are just it is CGI, but the effects look great in this movie. ILM did a great job with this film. The effects look amazing, and you can tell they used the money on the screen. The money's on the screen in this film, and you can tell with the effects. Yeah, that they worked really hard to do this kind of movie. For a film like Doctor Strange, you need good special effects. Yeah. She takes down several of them, but the first up Callistus and his surviving followers. They escape with a ritual. Elsewhere, though, you see Stephen Strange. He's just listening to, like, I think Shining Star from September. He's dancing and quoting music lessons. Him and Rachel McAdams, they, like, used to date, but they're just kind of friends again. He's like, well, we're getting a strange version of it or something like that. They're just flirting and talking with each other, making a laugh. Like I said, he's arrogant, but he only cares for his wealth and his success and his talents. So he's got this one doctor. He helps Rachel McAdams take this bullet of this guy's head. Just the way he talks, like I said, he's an arrogant jerk. Highly thinks of himself. Thinks he's a know-it-all kind of guy. That's just how the character starts out. Like, I do wish they added more of that in the movie, but we do get into the action a little quickly. I wish they would have given time to know the character a little more, but maybe they just didn't want us to dislike him. But the thing is, in the 2007 movie, you do see his history. That Strange had a sister, she died, and this you see in the anime movie that this little girl wants help, but Strange refuses to help her. And you can see him like be the real jerk he is. Like my favorite version of the Doctor Strange movie, my favorite Doctor Strange movie, personally for me, is the 2007 movie because that was really good. They really went into details about how much of a jerk he can be. But anyway, in here, one night he travels to give just to give a guest talk, and of course he's driving 80 miles per hour in this Corvette looking nice car. He's talking to the doctor about surgery, about what they can do, take care of it. But again, he's not looking on the road. He's driving fast. This is almost like on a hilltop, but he doesn't pay attention, of course, looks back up, hits this car by accident, and wrecks his car off the road onto the hill and gets injured badly. He survives. His hands are badly injured. The metal pins, he gets these metal pins in them. He wakes up. He's like, what did they do to me? He's like, well, we took an hour to find you, Steven. They had to, you know, doctors had to implant it in there. You know, these pins in your arm. Like, oh my God, what happened? It pretty much ends Strange's career. And he's trying everything he can. He's using the money he's got and basically telling the doctors, "I'm gonna try the possible to do it, but it's not working." He's calling the guy and he says, "Steven, I can't do it. It's just too complicated." And even though she's being sweet, he's an asshole to Rachel McAdams, telling her, "I'm all over you this, you blah blah blah, you this, you that, you don't help me out, you blah," you know, telling her off. She's like, "You know what? See you, Steven." He's like, "Yeah, you can leave." You know, And this guy Sherman was like, "Oh man, your hand, do it right." And he's like, "Well, I knew this guy went to the back. He was able to get help." But people was like, "Well, give me his name," and that's Benjamin Brad, of course. And he spends much trying to do these minor surgeries. That is Jonathan Bangborn. I can't, yeah, Benjamin Bratt. He was able to walk again. And Strange goes to him. He's like, "Wait a minute, I've seen you before, Doctor Strange. You refused to see me because I wasn't highly, because I was too much for your pay fee, huh?" He's like, "Please, I need help, please, my hands." And he tells him about the mystical arts in Naples. He tells Strange about the conjurer Tasha under the Ancient One, and Steven, goes there. He's trying to get directions, just walking. Mordo like follows him. These guys trying to steal his watch, and I think it might be who knows, maybe his sister or something that gave him his watch. he punches the guy, but he hurts his hand because of his injuries. Hurts his hand. But Moto shows up, beats these guys up. He's like, "You're looking for the Kamata?" Yeah, I can't say it right. I'm sorry. And Strange starts to joke with him. He's like, "Okay, well, stop with the joking. Forget everything you know." Strange starts to ask a question. Oh, I forgot. Ask everything you know. And he meets the Ancient One. He's like, "Thank you for the coffee." She's like, "Thanks. You're welcome." He's like, "So what can I do for you, Doctor Strange?" Mm. And she says, "Strange, you're an arrogant doctor. You think you know everything. You think you know it all, but you don't, Mr. Strange. It's Doctor Strange. Well, apparently you lost that. You know, how did I heal your hands? Well, we figured that out." And she tells him about the astral plane field. She like pushes Strange out of his body, which is like real cool. Really good, nice special effects. And then she touches his head. It can even be a little creepy too, but it's like he's going through space. He goes onto Earth, falling Earth. Sees a butterfly, touches the butterfly, and he's got like hands touching him. All these hands falling out and touching him in the face, and him falling like a bigger version of his body, right to his own eye. Yeah, it's really just very mystical, and it's amazing special effects. She's like, "I think he's okay," and she's shows him a bit more going through the portal. The astral plane, another dimension says is a mirror dimension, and Strange begs her to teach him, and he's like, "Can you teach me?" She's like, "No," because she sees that he's very arrogant, like Delicious was like Mouse, you know, like Mouse McKill's character here. That's how she lost him as a student. They throw him out, and Steven spends 5 hours trying at the door, trying to say, "Please help, please, 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 I'll do anything, please." And Mortar talks to him, is like, "Well, he's got spirit, you gotta give him that. He's been out there for 5 hours." And she's like, "But he's arrogant, thinks he knows it all. I can't fail another student." He's like, "You won't." He's like, "But you gotta give him a chance." And listen, Mortar, Steven's just sitting at the door, they open the door, and he falls. Oh, like, "Thank you." Gives Steven a room to stay in, and she's like, gives Strange a little word, Shambhala. He's like, "What's this?" He's like, "It's the Wi-Fi password." We're not savages. He learns from the Ancient Books and Library. He's training him how to create the wizard's way, create the magic, the portal. She even traps. There's a scene where she traps him in the snow in the Mount Everest. He's like, "This, you gotta get out, Strange," and he does eventually. And he's finding it difficult at first, but she shows him this one master who does not have a hand at all, and he can still do his magic. You know, telling me he fails because he's not concentrating or no. And eventually he meets Wong, who's got everybody's like, "I'll kill anybody who does that." Well, thank you for the threats into my life, and thank you for telling me that. When he meets, it's explained that Earth is protected from other dimensions by spell formed from the buildings of sanctums found in New York City, London, and Hong Kong. And what they do by Avengers protect from reality threats or real threats, they protect it from mystical threats. That's what they do. It's strange begins to read books. Yeah. He advances quickly over several months there. He even, starts to be able to shave. The Eye of Amagus, which I believe that one has an Infinity Stone in it. The Green Store, I guess the Time Stone. You want to call it, with strange reasons, the book of it. Until Wong and Mortal say, "Stop! You don't know what you're messing with. You can't do that. It's a big no-no. You shouldn't do that. You can't mess with time." Yeah. And you can't break the laws of nature. He's trying to, like Colossus, believes that everyone should live as long as the Ancient One after the death of his loved ones. Collision and his father, they sell these pages to begin summoning the powerful Dormammu from this dark dimension named Dormammu, where the time does not exist and all can live forever. Uh, so this after stealing the book in the beginning of the film, starts going after these sanctums to destroy them. That way, they can create a portal so Dormammu can come through and destroy the world. They destroy the London one, which actually sends Strange to the New York Sanctum. Yeah, and this is where you know Strange accidentally gets trapped by them. Where they stab one guy, they go after him. You know, he uses him as like a rope kind of to fight these guys. But when Strange gets actually knocked there because he's running from them, he also sees that there's other portals like the desert or a jungle. He takes one of them to a jungle, the other to Egypt. You know, and he fights Caligus, whatever his name is, Mamescus himself. He puts up a good fight, and the the cloak of levitation is is where he gets his robe. I mean, well, his cape, and the cape like protects him and has like a mind of its own. It's like it's pretty much alive, like the magic carpet from Aladdin, but it protects him. Sorry, I can't even finish. It protects him. They fight, and Strange gets back up. It's not working, or this, but he fights, and he's able to, it's telling him like he can throw this, he throws this like kind of like a trap or like a booby trap right onto his face and the trap still, I guess. And he says, "Why are you doing this? Why are you trying to do all this?" He's like, "What the mama? You're a doctor, right? A man of science. You believe in that. The mama wants to bring peace and all that stuff. Yada yada yada." He's laughing. He's like, "No, I'm not talking about that." It's Scott Adkins' character attacks him and they fight. And Strange gets stabbed, so he goes to Palmer, Rachel McAdams, and she heals him up. He talks to her in his Western plane body, and she freaks out. Is like, I gotta go. And he has done any fight Scott Adkins, they fight. And she keeps telling him to kill Scott Adkins' character. And he thanks her again. He tells her about the portal. He's like, "You joined a cult." He's like, "No, it's not a cult. That's what a cult person would say." And she sees it. She says, like, "Okay, I believe you." She sees the portal that he created. Goes back to where he was in the sanctum. Floods the portal, and, Rachel McAdams turns around. A mop or whatever, like, falls. She's like, which I thought was hilarious. Yeah. And then, Strange goes back, sees Scott Adkins dead. You know, I like the scene where walking up with the cape on. He tells, HMI that you've been hiding some stuff, that you messed with the star power before. And Mortar doesn't believe in it. Mm-hmm. Her long life is the only use of Dormammu's power, but she thinks she's doing it the right way. And then Colossus shows up again, and they fight, and he stabs the Ancient One, and he escapes to Hong Kong. The Ancient One tells Strange that we have to break the rules sometimes to balance both Mortar's steadfast nature before despite being the best efforts of Strange and a pivotal point where she dies. He's talking their astral playing field. He's talking to her. Good special effects. Just telling that Mortal just had a bad childhood and doesn't know to listen sometimes. But sometimes you do have to break the rules. I mean, well, bent, if you will, to break reality, to do what you need to do, just by protecting you. And she dies, sadly. And it's Strange, holds her hand. He's like, "You okay?" And she's like, "This might be the last time you see me." And they kind of give each other, say goodbye. Yeah. Strange and Mordo, though, arrive in Hong Kong. They argue about it first, about what the Asian one has done, but no one had time for that, as the Hong Kong weren't, you know, won't be prepared to fight, but they knew to destroy the city. But eventually, Doctor Strange, Mordo show up, and realizing that they can't defeat this enemy, he uses the Time Stone, and he fights Mad Medicine again, but it's not working. And he says, "It's like time beyond time." And he goes up to fly up to the Mormo, and he's like, "The Mormon, the Mormu, it's come to bargain." Jamal doesn't listen. He fights him, and swings at the trailer of him, fire. But he gets killed, gets blasted by him, and he's he's trapped the Mormo in a time loop of saying, and the mom was like, "What? You're gonna keep dying 1,000 more deaths and stuff." That may be so, but we've got eternity. We're going to be doing this for eternity. He's like, "Enough of this." And then Dormammu finally agrees to make a deal. So, apparently to no avail, Dormammu rarely agrees to leave Earth if Strange breaks the loop, and taking Colossus and his Silas with him, which grants them immortality, but at horrific cost. Yeah. Doctor Strange comes back and told him that he's made this deal made with Dormammu, and, you know, Celesticus and his followers, they end up going there and like, get tortured, like their eyes or faces are burning, and they're like, going up in the sky, burned. Mordo is disgusted by it. He severs all ties to the Gujo, conjuring, and he departs on his own. Strange now returns the eye, which Wong calls an Infinity Stone, and then takes up the residence in New York City and continue his studies. Strange says that, you know, well, we're gonna just have to protect the city and stuff, protect people and any mystical threats. So he becomes Strange becomes the Ancient One, the Sorcerer Supreme, and he has to protect the Earth from mystical threats, and he quits being a doctor and starts protecting people and becomes a better man. And you just see him at the end just standing there on the clock and looking at time and becoming Doctor Strange finally and becoming his destiny and that thing. The movie ends there, but then we get two post-credit scenes. Strange gets visited by Thor, who has brought his brother Loki there, but they're searching for their father Thor. He's like, I don't know, so he gives Thor a beer. Because, Thor's going to get a beer, of course. Of course. And Strange is like, let me help you. And then there. And that's where Moto visits, Benjamin Rat. He still the injury from he uses to walk. Because I'm more, this is my power. I was like, no, it's not your power. He's misused his power by Earth. He's like, Earth's too many two sorcerers. So in other words, he's going to start attacking sorcerers, start becoming an enemy himself. And then the movie is there, and that's Doctor Strange. Maybe I'll read some quotes real quick, if I can, guys. Sorry. I'm sorry, I can't read no quotes. I was getting my final opinion, guys. I'm sorry, I'm just feeling a little woozy. I'm sorry. But let me give a final opinion on Doctor Strange. Let me take the Blu-ray out real quick. I love this movie. This is a really good film. I think it's a well-made movie. I thought the story was really good. First of all, Scott Derrickson did a great job directing it. The script is good. Yeah. Oh yeah, Stanley has a cameo when they're chasing the city. Like I said, the amazing special effects, bus and Stanley's reading a book and laughing. But anyway, the cinematography of this film is nice. The cinematography is very beautiful, and the editing, the action scenes are good. I thought they were. The music score is good, like very mystical. The special effects of CGI is really amazing in this movie. The DVD or Blu-ray don't ever show you it, but that's good. Instead of going to this movie, with a movie like this, like Ant-Man, where it's also has great special effects, and the sequels do too, and the sequel too to this has special effect, great special effects. Can't even speak right. But what I liked about the sequel, though, they Doctor Multiverse of Madness, it felt like a horror movie, and that's what I liked about it, especially being directed by Sam Raimi. It felt like a horror film. But this movie is good because number one, I do like the story is good. The special effects are just amazing to look at. I like things like when he's got the hands or the arms touching his face, or he's like above the earth, or the buildings coming across, then moving where Doctor Strange has to run from them, and you know, Millie, Mads Mikkelsen's character is like twisting it around, or buildings falling apart together. Kind of reminded me of Inception a little bit, except that was more of a dream, but this is reality, but they can bend the reality. The sorcerers can do. Yeah. But the cast is really good. Bender Cumberbatch, again, who gives Doctor Strange. Like Christopher Reeve is Superman, Michael Keaton is Batman. He is Doctor Strange. He was great in this role. He's perfect. I'm glad he came back for the other Marvel movies. Don't recast him. If you're going to make another Doctor Strange movie, MCU, Marvel, don't do it without him. Yeah. I can't say that actor's name's right. Some of the actor's names right. Rachel McAdams is good. The actress that plays the Asian one, she's good. Benedict Wong does a great job as Wong. He's a funny character as well. I liked it when tells Wong, "I'm sorry that I bent your." I was like, "No, keep doing what you're doing," and I thought that was funny. Yeah, it is funny moments too. Yeah, yeah, and it's just a good movie. It's got a real good story. Yeah, the story is interesting. Now my problems. I do think you could have added a little more to the origin. I would like to see Strange before his accent. I feel like the accent just kind of happens like that, and I'm like, I think you can take a little more time with the character. You don't have to rush. With Ant Man, it felt like it take time to know Scott a little bit. It took a little time for him to become the Ant Man. And learning his stuff. It took a while. And it did take a while here too, but I'm talking about before he becomes Strange. I get it. Marvel can't maybe because of the budget they couldn't add all that, and I understand that. But I would like to see more on the origin a little bit. And Rachel McAdams, I do think she deserves more screen time. I get it. Strange has to go through a lot. It's a story. Maybe I mean not every superhero movie needs to have a love story. Not everyone, including anime ones, have love stories, and that's fine. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. In here, it probably wouldn't have worked, even though Rachel McAdams was good. So maybe I can see why I do think she deserved a bit more screen time, but she does come back in the sequel. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Yeah, but she does come back in the sequel, and Mad Meskin is the villain. He's not that interesting. He's very bland. And Dormammu, I think, deserved more screen time. Dormammu was more of a threat. Or Mordu. Mordu, I think, would have been a better villain. You know, because the way he thinks, the way he does stuff, if they're not agreeing with him, he can use that to want to attack them or become a mystical threat himself. And I think they could have played on that, but I get it. But it's a shame. We do see him come back in a sequel, but I wanted to see him become that Mordu villain though. But we didn't get that either. If you make a third movie, make Mordu the villain, please. I want to see him become a villain. You know, do more with that and give Rachel McAdams more screen time in a third movie. Yeah, but I don't know. But despite that, those issues with the movie, I still enjoyed the movie. It's one of Marvel's best films, in my opinion. I'd probably say I do like it more than the sequel. I don't know yet. I'm not gonna say that yet. Well, the sequel, I do have my issues with the sequel too. But despite that, though, I do think Doctor Strange, the first film, is really good. I enjoyed it. I loved it. I thought it was really good. It's definitely better than, especially Max Steel, Suicide Squad, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It was those three I reviewed, I think, right? And Max Steel, yeah, it's definitely better than Max Steel, yes. And Teenage Mutant Turtles Out of the Shadows, yes. It's better and Batman v Superman. Because again, Benedict Cumberbatch, he does such a good job. I like following him in his journey, seeing him as you see him as an arrogant asshole at first, and he even apologized to Rachel McAdams because he knew he was being an asshole. He knew it, but we see him grow out. That's how you do the character development. Max Steel, you know, and that guy that played Max Steel, he was bland and forgettable. But now Benedict Cumberbatch did a great job. He has screen presence, and he does a great job. He does a good job. He delivers a great performance. And the music when it hits there is pretty good. It's not completely memorable, but it's the music does fit the character in my opinion. I just think it needed to be more. But if I listened to it, I would know it. But Doctor Strange, yeah, maybe it's trying to confuse you. It's a film you got to watch a bit more to understand. But pretty simple. He's master of the mystical arts. The sorcerer. He's a sorcerer. magic doctor, you want to call him, protects mystical threats, but he's his own superhero. But like Tony Stark, he can be a bit of a smart ass too. I do like his banter with Stark in Avengers Infinity War, but we'll get there. But Doctor Strange. So anyway, my rating for Doctor Strange, I'm gonna give this film. My rating for this film, I'm gonna give Doctor Strange a thumbs up, and my rating for this film is 4 to 5 stars. So guys, tell me in the comments down below, what do you think of Doctor Strange in your opinion for 2016? Starring Benedict Cumberbatch, Rachel McAdams, Benedict Wong, Tilda Swinton, Mads Mikkelsen, and Rachel McAdams. I know I butchered that name this time, but whatever. Tell me what you think of the movie Doctor Strange in your opinion. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Have you seen the sequel? If not, do you plan on it? And if you have seen the sequel, which do you prefer? Have you seen the Doctor Strange film from 2007, part of the Marvel animated feature films? Highly recommend it. Anyway, and then the next review. Now we're going to be starting with the year 2017, and I will be starting with this DC animated film. Let's see. So sorry, because it came out in February. Now for 2017, let's see. I did review on my other channel. I did review the Lego Batman movie, Batman and Harley Quinn, and Batman vs Two Face, which was, when Adam West and Burt Ward came back to do the sequel. And William Shatner was Two Face, but that was sadly that was what's his freaking name? Adam West. I'm sorry, that was his last time. I reviewed those films already, but it's just a couple films of 2017. Not a couple more than that, but this film is the 28th film of the DC Universe animated universe movie, and the 8th film of the DC animated movie universe, starring Matt Ryan, Jason Momoa, Jerry O'Connell, Rosario Dawson, and that is the DC animated film that I have on Blu-ray. That is Justice League Dark. We're now starting with the year 2017. This will be my first 2017 super review. And then, guys, we have 2017 here, and then 2018, 2019. 2019 will be my last part of 2010 reviews. And then we'll get into the 2020 super reviews, and then I got some Arrowverse shows I want to talk about, some crossovers I want to review. But when I do that, I'll be starting with the show Arrow. It may be this year, it may be next year. I don't know yet. You know, I think I got like with these 2017 films, probably 20 something movies to go. I'm not sure. I have to do a count. But yeah, like I said, I go by years and months. And this came out in 2017. This came out in February. So this will be first. Yeah. I've already reviewed Lego Batman movie. So you'll see that review eventually. But yeah. But Justice League Dark, this will be next. So stay tuned for Justice League Dark, guys. This will be the next review. Justice League Dark. And again, my rating for Doctor Strange, I'm going to give this a thumbs up. A thumbs up for Doctor Strange. And my rating for the film is 4 to 5 stars. So guys, tell me once again, what do you think of this film? In your opinion, have you seen it? What do you think of Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange? Do you like the sequel, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness? And have you seen the 2007 film? Tell me in the comments down below, guys. And thanks for watching. Have a good one. And I'm out. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks for watching. Guys, I've come to bargain. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Bye. Mhm. And stay tuned for tomorrow. Hopefully I'll do maybe 2 more reviews and another 2017 review. If I do another review tomorrow, I could just sleep dark. Another X-Men film, Logan, starring Hugh Jackman. And if I get one to do on Sunday, I gotta find out my work schedule. Hopefully Sunday, I know I'm off Sunday. Power Rangers, 2017 film, yep. So, and then next weekend, I would say by next Friday, hopefully, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Yeah. Which will probably be 22nd, I think, or 20, yeah. Yeah, I think so. Anyway, guys, so stay tuned for my, hope you enjoy my review of Doctor Strange. Tell me what you think of the movie in the comments down below. And stay tuned for the next, starting with the year 2017 again, starting with Justice League Dark. That's the next one coming up next. So stay tuned for this, guys. Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.